All right, I wanted you guys to be able to get some feedback on how you did on this homework, even though I'm gone. So this first one, we talked about how this angle right here, angle X, is a central angle. All of the central angles together get you 360. We are now going to divide by the number of sides. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sides. So we're going to divide by 12. 360 divided by 12 is going to be divided by 12 is going to be 30 degrees. So X is 30 degrees. The whole entire central angle is 30 degrees. When you drop down your apothem, it's going to cut that in half, which means that Y is going to be 15 degrees. And then you can use the triangle angle sum theorem because you have this triangle right here. That's 180 degrees. When you subtract away your 15 and you subtract away the 90, which is how it enters the apothem intersects the bottom, that is going to be 75 degrees. So that's that. Now you got to be careful with a problem like 2a. We are getting really used to going over and having to use 30, 60, 90s, that when I give you everything, people forget it's as easy as just putting it into the formula. So this is 1/2 apothem, which is 6.9 times the perimeter. There's 5 sides, and it is going to be 10 each, so that's 50. All you have to do is put that in your calculator, 6.9 times 50 times 1/2, and that gives you 172.5 inches squared. So in this case, we have everything. Even if you tried to draw a triangle here, it's not a special triangle. This angle is like 36 degrees or something like that. So other than trig, you can't really do anything. On this one right here, I already have a side length, so I can get my perimeter. I just don't have my apothem. This does have a 30, 60, 90 embedded because it is going to be a hexagon. Half of 12 is 6, and this is going to be 6 rad 3. So I could say 1/2 of 6 rad 3 times 12 times 6. 12 times 6 is going to be 72. A lot of times people forget to do perimeter. They just do side length. And then when you put all this together, you get 216 rad 3 inches squared. So on that one, you had what you needed for the perimeter, just not for the apothem. Now this is a tricky one. We didn't do one of these in class, so let's see how you did on it. When we go over and make our 30, 60, 90, we do have the apothem already, which is 9, but we are going to have to go from here to here. And on a 30, 60, 90, going in that direction is divide by rad 3. So when you do 9 divided by rad 3 and you simplify, you get 9 rad 3 over 3, which is 3 rad 3. So half of the side is 3 rad 3. The whole side, therefore, is 6 rad 3. And since there are 6 sides, that's going to give you 36 rad 3 for the perimeter. 1/2 apothem times perimeter. The apothem was 9. So I'm going to do half of 36 because that's even. 18 rad 3 times 9. And 9 times 18 is 162. 162 rad 3. Once again, just a little tricky because when you're going in this direction, you have to divide by rad 3, find out what you get, double it to get the side length, and go from there. Let's keep on cranking. Now on this one right here, they don't give you the apothem, they don't give you a side length, so you have to find out both. You do have a 30, 60, 90 in here. When you go in this direction with a 30, 60, 90, you divide by 2, and then you multiply by rad 3. So it's 1/2 apothem, which is 8 rad 3. This whole length is 16, and there are 6 of those sides. So 16 times 6 gives you 96. The perimeter was 96. When I put that in my calculator, I get 384 rad 3 inches squared. Okay. Now in this one, there's a few different ways you can do it. You can do 1/2 base times height if you wanted to, or you can do 1/2 apothem times perimeter. I'm going to do 1/2 apothem times perimeter. So on this one, going from here to here on a 30, 60, 90 is going to be divided by 2. So that's 4. And then going from here to here is multiplied by rad 3. So you now have 4 rad 3. Whole side length is 8 rad 3. And now we have everything we need for the formula. 1/2 apothem, which is 4, times perimeter. That's going to give you 24 rad 3. 24 rad 3. And that's going to be half of 4 is 2. 2 times 24 is 48 rad 3 inches squared. Now, if you wanted to go over and say that this was your base and you went over and found out what your height was, there is a 30, 60, 90 triangle embedded right here as well. And you could have done 1/2 base times height and you would have gotten the same exact answer. Now on this one, there's multiple ways to do it. I'm going to be lazy and efficient and use the 1/2 diagonal 1, diagonal 2. If I did that, 1/2 diagonal 1 is going to be 8. Diagonal 2 is going to be 8. And you have 1/2 of 64. That gives you 32. So the answer, without any radicals needing to be used, is 32 inches squared. Now, if you wanted to do the 1/2 apothem times perimeter, going from here to here is divide by rad 2. So you get 4 rad 2 over 2, which is 2 rad 2. So that means this is 2 rad 2, and this is 2 rad 2. So we have 1/2 apothem 2 rad 2 times perimeter. That's 2 rad 2, that's 4 rad 2, so altogether you get 16 rad 2. 1/2 of 2 is just that, and now rad 2 times rad 2 is 2. 1/2 of 2 is just 1. Rad 2 times rad 2 is 2. 2 times 16 is 32. You still get the same answer. And even if you did base times height, you would still get the same answer. Okay. Let's see. Let me show you just real quickly. Because if this is 4, then that's 8. And then going from here to here would be divide by rad 2. And you get 8 rad 2 over 2, which is 4 rad 2. 4 rad 2. So the bottom is 4 rad 2. The height is 4 rad 2. 4 rad 2 times 4 rad 2 gives you 16 rad 4, which is 2, and that gives you 32. 32 inches squared. Inches squared. Next, what are the 3 formulas you could use to calculate the area in 1F? You can use base times height. You can use 1/2 diagonal 1, diagonal 2, or you could use 1/2 apothem times perimeter. You could use any of those formulas. Alrighty, I would say probably out of these, the hardest one is C, because you're going to have to divide by rad 3. You're going to have to double it. You're going to have to multiply by the number of sides, because that's going to get you your perimeter. Hopefully that made sense.